Final show. It's me, Kawan, Warfield, and Talia. And Austin.
Hey y'all.
Hi. That was a first.
What's up, folks?
You know, I hope anybody here is actually still listening because that was an awful intro. Kwan, you can't sing. Keep your
Oh,
day
yeah,
job.
that's true. I should. I
I
just
don't
have to
know. I'm
keep
coming off harsh
working that
here.
street corner.
I disagree. I think you should pursue this career of yours of
Thank you,
singing
Talia.
career.
I think it's refreshing to see a young person still believing in the American dream.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, stardom, money, females, Bugattis. This is
Yeah.
the American dream.
The whole
What a
American dream.
The
you
entirety
just
of it. You know,
come on, the top G.
yeah, having your cake and then also eating it as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's enough with the Kwan Top G. We need to talk about Project Veritas because they did some great work once again.
They did.
So, Tal, I know you're actually on the side of the Pfizer employee, right? You feel bad for him?
Yeah, I definitely feel bad for him. Um, the pure terror though in his face, actually, like real talk, like the pure terror on his face is kind of sad to see because you could just tell how much control Pfizer has over him and all of its employees, really.
Like, no, when you were talking about billions of dollars in medicine, billions of dollars over a recurring period. Again, like this stuff is like rolled out month by month by month. Drugs is a $1 trillion industry. They have no problem killing a few guys. No problem.
Yeah, that's very true. And they know that. So,
They
like,
know
the
that.
employees know that, and they're just scared now.
Like
But
$1 trillion or that one guy from like you know, uh,
I mean, we got to talk about how this went down though first. Okay, so this guy's gay. He's on a date with the undercover Project Veritas reporter. So
the
I
best
guess
work I've ever seen him do, by the way.
I guess it's the third date is what I've heard. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's factually correct, but so this gay guy really trusts him now, this Pfizer employee, and is telling him everything about all what they do with the shots and how basically let's point out conspiracy theorists are like 150 at this point. But
yeah.
that's beside the point. This guy's admitting to everything we thought the Pfizer was doing. And all of a sudden, when he gets caught in the act, he's like, "Oh no, I'm lying. I was just trying to impress you." Like,
Is is this
time
real
out.
life? I'm literally a liar.
Like,
Yeah.
what really turns me on is when people talk about world domination and basically controlling millions and millions of people's lives and possibly killing thousands and like hundreds of thousand people. That really gets me going romantically speaking.
It's
Yeah.
just something. It's so strange. This guy's like, he's like so admitting, like, yeah, the American public would be mad, and yeah, it's not good for them, but it's good for us. And this is how this guy goes on a date, and like this is his game. Like this is what he talks about.
He's
What
trying
is
to
their
impress
vetting
him with
process?
his lack of morals.
Yeah.
They're like, hey sir, so you want this job? Are you willing to spill all company secrets on a date? Absolutely, you're hired.
Yeah. Like what?
What? Like I have been I'm engaged and my fiance still doesn't know everything I do at work to this day.
Obviously, this dude was feeling some type of way about Pfizer and whatever they were doing. He seemed really, really proud of it, to be honest.
Very
Yeah,
proud.
and he was drinking a lot.
Blame it on the
So,
goose.
and
Got you feeling
drunk
loose.
drunk words are sober thoughts. So,
There you go.
he definitely let a bit more out than he was trying for. So,
It's just it's amazing that somebody like him, like we know the more boosters come out, the more deaths there are. This isn't a theory anymore. We know what's happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
what is it? It's like now after flu season there is stroke season. What is it? What is it? What is that? It's like they like said that online. It was like after the flu season there's going to be a stroke season.
Oh, nice. I didn't
Yeah,
see that, but
I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know like you just catch a stroke.
yeah, I don't think I think us three, particularly in the clear, I don't think we're gonna be having this stroke season because we're
Yeah,
not vaccinated with Pfizer's poison. But thank God for that one. But yeah, the more boosters they get, the more they keep falling over. I mean, it's literally been every day. that there's been a headlining name, whether it's an American or whether it's some sports player from another country, that has these Pfizer booster shots, and they just all keep suddenly dying. It's amazing. Now, I mean, there's more people dying from the shots, from these strokes, from these heart attacks, from the blood clots than there is from actual COVID. Like, talk about a money maker. This guy admits, yeah, we test all these and we make the vaccines because we mutated COVID. That way we make money. Yeah, you're making money off of everybody dying still.
Yeah, and the thing about it is we all understand that every single drug has a risk, whether that is methamphetamine, whether that is whether that's Tylenol, whether that's cough syrup, whether that's flu shots. Every single thing you ingest, even provided by a doctor, has risk, and that's part of life. But the problem is the lying, it's the coercion, it's the fear mongering, it's the splitting up families, it's the destroying entire world economies. That's the problem.
Yeah, and they're still pushing it. I mean, they're still saying it's safe, it's effective. I mean, there's still some governors in some states that are saying we're not going to hire anyone if they're unvaccinated because they can get and spread COVID. Hey, are you brain dead? Are you a moron? Please. You can get and spread COVID no matter you have 75 boosters or not. Okay? Understand basic science. That's what you like, right? Fauci got to come whisper in your ear like Biden. I am the science. Is that what it takes to understand? Because he'll flip flop his position again. He'll probably down the road say that masks don't work again because he does it so often. I mean, do you really need Mr. Science to tell you what works?
I mean, it's really just them being stubborn at this point because the same people that they trusted so much for so long, they even said it prevented transmission. They did. So it's literally just them being stubborn.
Me personally, I get my medical information from Bill Nye the Science Guy. I trust that guy wholeheartedly, personally.
As you should, yeah.
as everyone should, obviously. He's Bill Nye the Science Guy. He has a degree in something or other. I don't know what it is. It's not science related, but it's a degree in something or other.
That's like saying you trust Doc McStuffins.
Oh, every day, every night I'm watching Doc McStuffins. Yeah, Doc McStuffins.
Yeah.
You cure that teddy bear. You cure that teddy bear. Yeah. Give her 5 shots in the chest. That's okay.
Oh my God.
Every day I go to the doctor. Hey doc, listen, I'm as healthy as a horse, but this little girl on TV told me.
Oh no.
Just inject me. That's all I want. Just get me like 10 needles all at once. Do it all at once. I got this.
Yeah. That's what Pfizer would want.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not trying to push 2-for-1 deals or something.
They should sell a subscription box where each month they give you a new booster. It's like $10 a month.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like a streaming service basically. Like this would be your Netflix.
Yeah, they send you a sticker that says I got vaccinated because I'm at an oxy. They send you blue hair dye and then 2 booster shots. One for you and then one for you to give to somebody else involuntarily.
Involuntarily.
Yeah. On the street. Shoot, stab.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Why does it not seem too far-fetched?
Yeah, for real.
Listen, guys, Pfizer hit me up. $1 billion idea right there, guys.
Well, because they just lost the other guy, so
exactly. You only lost one guy. I can keep a secret.
Wow. You're gonna take that blood money, Quan?
Yeah. And I'm
gonna wear not a liar.
Thick Google glasses.
I just want to know,
totally not cameras.
I want to know where the heck he thought he was going with the whole I was just trying to impress someone, blah blah, because his entire thing was so creative. It was just so detailed and so there's no way you can lie about it like that.
I got a statement to make. He's gay, so he's confused already. So who knows where he's going with anything?
You know me. Whenever I'm going on gay dates on Grindr or whatever, I like to start off with talking to them. Hey, listen, you know what happened in Cuba? That was me, actually. Fun fact. I was, a young man in my life. No, I was a little frisky, back then. I like living on the edge, so I helped enslave millions of people. Just what I do. Anyway, drinks in my place.
I gotta go.
Yeah. It's been a good show.
Works every time.
Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going here. There.
That was really dismissive. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep us on the tracks here. Okay. Not get Quan canceled. So
me on black.
That is very true.
True.
I like being right most of the time because then I could like brag about it to liberals.
Yeah.
But these shots are one thing that I wish I wasn't right about. I think we all have that feeling.
Yeah,
We were right about it, so I'm glad we didn't take it, obviously. But at the same time, I almost wish we were wrong because you're seeing how many people that were forced to take it for their job or just took it because they thought it was the right thing to do because they were brainwashed, and now they're the ones paying the consequences. And all these evil people that pushed it are sitting there laughing. It's just one thing that I wish, I almost wish I was wrong about.
yeah.
No, that's very true.
Very true.
No, go
I
ahead.
think this is like a very solemn victory. I think very often when I see someone on the left who I disagree with, I feel a lot of pity. I feel a lot of pity for them and that the tortured life that they're living, that is so empty that they feel like they need to force this down everybody else's throat. And I also feel sorry for everybody else that they are going to affect. Like if they're a teacher, if they're a doctor, if they are a politician or a business owner. I feel really sorry for all the employees or patients or kids that they are now interacting with. And I think other people think like, oh, I'm right. I'm like, fantastic, fantastic. But when you're right and you see the country go down this wrong path, you are burdened with the knowledge of what's right, and then watching everybody else fall apart.
Mhm.
And that's not fun. It's not fun seeing your neighbors lock themselves in their homes. It's not fun seeing hundreds of kids being forced these transgender medications and being pushed into these little boxes. It's not fun seeing all this distress in the world and seeing all the single moms and all the fathers who are not raising their kids and all the homeless folk inside of California, New York, XYZ, all the people getting shot and killed in Chicago. That's not fun.
Yeah.
And we know we're right, but it's hard to be right and feel almost like you can't do anything. It's weird to know the right answer, but no one cares to listen.
Yep.
And that's hard, but I think the important thing to know is that we have people who actually hear us, our friends, our community, and we have people who are working in our corner to change things, and not just them but us. We often want to wait for our knight in shining armor or our golden politician guy who come in and change things. But the person you are waiting on to save the world is you, and that's the truth. That's the truth.
That was so freaking motivational.
Good work, Juan.
After every single podcast, you make me want to stay up all hours of the night and just get so done, Every single time.
Like the Bible says, don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today.
Wow. What an inspirational dude.
Come on.
No, it's very true though. It's always, it's nice to say I told you so, but at the same time, I had family that took it that, wouldn't listen and stuff like that. I have friends who took it. So it's honestly heartbreaking at the end of all this. It's not something to be haha, I knew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when if you for anybody out there who has kids or siblings or younger, and you tell them, hey, you should not go hang out with that sketchy dude who does drugs behind the Walmart, and then they end up getting beaten or whatever. What happens to them? And you have sisters who are in these relationships who are getting beaten by their husbands or whatever. You have friends or brothers who are doing drugs or drinking too much and what have you. Yeah, you can say, yeah, I told you so, but that's still someone you love suffering.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know what else suffered? That poor iPad. Did you guys see the picture of that thing after that Pfizer employee slammed that thing down?
Yeah.
What did that iPad ever do to him?
Clearly it's iPad, right? So it's from Apple, and Apple a day keeps the doctors away. They provide medicine to doctors, so the Apples are clearly in the way of their business.
Wow. Wow.
He just connected the dots.
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos is actually fighting with Pfizer in the background.
If Kawhi disappears, he did not do it.
Yeah.
I'll make it clear here now.
He's not suicidal.
I'm not suicidal. I love my life. I have things to look forward to.
Well, and you're healthy?
Oh yeah, healthy as a horse. Very strong young black man. I did not kill myself.
Okay.
Well, we made that clear. So I'm
very clear.
Glad we did, just
never.
in case.
I think we
Yeah,
covered
whenever.
everything.
Can never be
Cover
too
bases.
sure.
Okay.
Never be too sure. No matter what they say, no matter what evidence there is, I didn't do it. It wasn't
That's all
me.
we need. I hope you're here for next week's episode, though. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, so the restaurant owners ended up locking James O'Keefe and this crazy gay Pfizer employee in the building. And the Pfizer employee didn't want him to leave. He wanted to leave. The restaurant wanted him to leave. Then they finally got out. The police showed up, and the police said that the crazy Pfizer employee would have been arrested if they were still there. But that's not even the best part. That crazy Pfizer employee ran into the street to stop a car, which he thought was them. And it was some random people in the car. Like, dude, you're crazy. Like, you shouldn't be in public. Like, there's a reason you work at Pfizer, because you're mentally insane. Like, do something with your life.
I think it was a mix of him being crazy though, and also being so fearful, because like you need to think there's so many Pfizer employees, and like none of them are speaking up, speaking out, and like they know everything. You know what I mean? They know exactly what this dude knew, and they're not speaking out like he accidentally did when he was drunk. He's fearful now. He knows they're gonna kill him.
Pfizer employee dies suddenly.
Yeah, I'll be so surprised if he's not dead by next week, for real, or missing.
Yeah. Honestly, at the medium, like at the lowest level, he probably just signed a NDA, and they are going to sue the pants out of this man. He's going to have no home. They probably going to go and take his car, take his kidney from him. Probably he's going to have be basically on the street by next week.
I think his body will be on the street
at least minimum.
I don't think he'll be moving much longer. I think his days are numbered. I think you don't burn those bridges. You don't make enemies with the people you kind of sold your soul to there at Pfizer. So said a little too much, and now like I said,
the only problem with them letting him live, like on their part, is that once they take everything from this guy, like what's stopping him from speaking up now besides death? But that's already they already have so many eyes on him.
I personally, if I was the one running this company, I would threaten his family. Obviously, that's the next step. Stupid villain 101. Like, hey,
considering the way that he did not care at all about the American people, I don't really know if this dude has morals. Like, I really don't think that he cares about his family.
Even psychopaths have something that they care about. Something. If it's either the mother or somebody or a sister, or somebody in the family, like they care about somebody or something. I find that thing.
He cares about Pfizer.
Childhood friend, like, oh, you remember Braden from summer camp? Yeah, we found him.
I'm like an ex-boyfriend of his or something.
Something that he cares about deeply. I'm like, hey, Mr. Snuggle Bear? We found him. Yeah, we have him locked up in the vault. Yeah, say another word.
I don't think there's anything or anyone in his life he actually loves or cares about, because this man went on to a third date and started talking about the most top secret things he could possibly talk about. Third date, and he's already telling this guy everything. Like, he has nobody else to talk to.
Well, people who overshare like that anyways, they're lonely, obviously, and they don't talk to many people and about many things, because that's everyone. That's everyone who trauma dumps or overly shares about their life.
Yeah, but also, even if you're isolated by yourself, that doesn't mean that there's not somebody out there that you wish you were with. Mm-hmm. I think oftentimes you feel the most lonely when you know there's somebody out there that you want to be around and be with, but they don't want to be around you, and that hurts almost more than if you just everyone in your family is already died. I feel like this gentleman probably has somebody in family that he kept thinking about, but for obvious reasons they don't want to talk to him. For obvious reasons they are not.
No, why not?
I'm leaving out there to this unwell person. He's having a hard time, so I imagine that there is somebody out there that he couldn't talk to and wants to, that is probably not really in his life that much, that he regrets. So if I was a villain, that's who I would go after, personally.
Good thing you're not a villain.
You heard it here first.
I know, right? Good thing I'm a good person. Allegedly. So I'm told.
Okay, well, enough with the fired Pfizer employee. We know
you're fired.
You're
fired.
Yeah.
Listen, you gave out such good information.
What was your name again?
Who?
My
name is Donald Trump.
No, you were Devontae Trump.
Yeah, I'm Devontae Trump. That's the one. I'm Devontae Trump.
Well, Devontae, I think we got to switch this up. No, we're not talking about the gay Pfizer employee anymore. We're going to talk about gay Ukraine. So,
Mm.
where's your what would that be? Your uncle or what's Donald to you?
He's my uncle's cousin's daughter, sister twice removed. On my grandpa's side, slave owner. That's the one.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Donald wants this war to end. Uncle Joe in the White House wants this war to keep going, and he's sending 31 tanks to Ukraine now. So
It's probably not to distract all of us from the problems that we have going on here.
Yeah, but not totally genuine. Joe Biden.
Don't look here, guys.
Look over here, not over here.
So, I mean, how many billions have we sent to Ukraine at this point? I've lost track. I mean, I don't think anyone really knows anymore. And where's this money actually going?
Like 50-something billion. I don't even know.
Yeah. Where's this money exactly going? Is it to rebuild Ukraine? Is it to fund the war that we're also funding on Russia's side now because we left equipment in Afghanistan, which is now being sold to the Russians? So now we got American equipment on Russia's side, America's equipment on Ukraine's side, and now it's American equipment versus American equipment, and we're just throwing money in on top of it. So what I'm trying to say is this is America's war on both sides, and either way, we're going to be the winner and the loser.
Yeah, that's true.
I really want to know where in Ukraine this money is going, though, because we haven't seen anything at all. We haven't seen it.
Is Hunter the one delivering the money? I think that might explain it. That may be the answer.
He's good with money.
No, he's the one receiving it, probably. But
Joe Biden is no newbie to doing deals with Ukraine. With offering some money for Ukraine to do certain things. He's not new to this, and he's proud of it. Getting them to fire certain individuals in certain political positions for money. He is not new to that. So,
yeah, the money scandal is just a constant loophole. I mean, goes back to Hunter Biden and Burisma. We all know that. Okay. Then we had the scandal of FTX, which the money we send to Ukraine goes to FTX, and FTX put that back into the Democrats for the elections. So now we know where a bunch of this money is going. It's going to Hunter Biden. It's going to the big guy, Joe Biden. It's going to FTX. So, where's the rest of the money going out? Because those three things have kind of dried up. I mean, the big guy's still getting his money. We know he's not going to stop. But, where's the majority of the money actually going?
The president of Ukraine, probably.
His pockets? You think it's going to his pockets?
Yeah, I think the president of Ukraine, he has really charmed his way, along with the help of social media, to kind of boosting Biden's ego, giving Biden a nice little back pat, a little twitchy tap, to kind of feeling good about himself. Like, good job, big boy. Just another $1 billion there, please. And he's helping Joe Biden sign because Joe Biden's an old man. He's like, oh, just a little D right there for you, please, and then we can get the money going.
Interesting.
No, honestly, Joe Biden, I think he needs a win. He needs a win. This is politics 101. If you are struggling somewhere and in your races or policy, join a war. Start a war or join a war. That is the best way to gain support. The problem is Joe Biden underestimated how much we care about this. We cared for about 2 months, and that was enough for us. He grows this is not like the Vietnam War. This is not like the Korean War. This is not like Afghanistan. Even this is not even like World War I, II, III, whatever what have you. No one cares about this to nearly the degree that people care about other wars, whether that was for or against. People don't even care enough to protest this war anymore.
Yeah,
even the liberals don't care enough to do anything about it.
Nobody cares.
He picked the wrong war to join. Is the issue.
He picked the wrong war.
Listen, they're plenty good wars. Unfortunately, Donald Trump stopped a lot of those wars before they happened because he's the best to ever do it. But that's something Joe Biden to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the Middle East. I mean, all those peace treaties. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it made it hard for him to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, Biden comes into office and just world goes to World War III. I mean, why couldn't you? It's too hard to continue what Trump was doing, I guess.
Yeah, and again, he tried to outfit the Taliban with new weapons, and just not enough carnage yet for him to get involved.
No.
Again, I'll give him he's trying. He's trying a lot, but he's spent the money on it. He's just not getting the results to help him out with his campaign.
Yeah, like you said, picked the wrong war. He picked a civil war on the other side of the globe.
Yeah. Also, something that's just very ignorable. This I just haven't heard any news from the Ukraine really, unless you look for it. It's not really happening that we can really see. It just feels like it's all like theater.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, oh yeah, have you seen the new episode of Ukraine War? No, I haven't. Whatever, it's
Yeah,
terrible.
so
I've been watching the new thing on Netflix.
the last thing that I saw was a video of them basically blowing up their own like things, buildings and bridges, stuff like that. And it was from Operation Underground Railroad because it was saying that like they use times disaster and stuff like that to like sex traffic, human traffic the most. But that was the only thing. I haven't seen much else.
Yeah, I like honestly. Listen, I feel for the citizens of Ukraine and Russia because this was so easily avoidable. I mean,
Mhm.
so easily avoidable. And it's very unfortunate that this happened. And of course, war is never good. It just unfortunately we have a weak president who operates from a position of weakness. Putin knows that. The president of Ukraine knows that. The world knows that. And so we weren't able to use our influence in any meaningful way. So now we're just paying to lose. At this point, like we are like a drunk guy at a poker table. We're just paying the he said like more and more tokens to lose, and we are betting with nothing. Basically, oh yeah, I'm putting money on that guy over there.
I
The guy
kind
over
of want to
there.
know. I kind of want to know what like Putin's thinking right now. Like, I just want to know. Like, I want to have a conversation with the dude. Really. Just,
Honestly, he's like okay, cool. I was able to attack another country, and no one really cares to do anything. So I guess I can keep going. You can do what he wants now. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, you're not going to get me to care about Ukraine no matter what you say anymore. You know, we've gotten to that point. You put America last for so long, I couldn't give a damn about Ukraine.
even the
Yeah,
people with like bumper stickers of the flag,
that's the thing
they're
is like
peeling them off already. Ukraine.
Yeah.
what I hate so much is that people in America shout all day about how America has a responsibility to help other countries. How we need to help this person, not have that person because we are the superpower, whatever, right? And but then in the same dime, they'll say, "Hey, by the way, America's terrible, racist, and awful. They are this capitalist patriarchy that we need to tear down." So, okay, what is it? Do you want to use our money and troops, or do you want to call us racist? It's and for some reason we're saying, "Oh, do both, do both." Um, beat us up, treat us like trash, treat us like a hooker, and then we'll pay you.
What
It's
a
the worst
deal.
deal possible. It's like, hey, how about you screw me and then I'll pay you? How about that? Let's go. Hey, you're up. Here's the money. Yep. You hate me? Absolutely. My fault. Here's some here's some more money. Here you go. Take it. I'm trash. I'm like it's just we are by all means the most powerful country in the world still to this day, and we are just letting everyone walk all over us.
Yep. I mean, or walk right through the border where we should be putting
Through
tanks
the
at.
border as well. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's where tanks should go, not Ukraine's border, you know, our border.
Yeah. How dare we only take in millions of immigrants each year? How dare we? How dare we? You know, how why are we only the number one most immigrated country? Why? We should be even better than that. Okay, we should be super number one. We should be taking in 10 million people each year. 20
We should be
million.
kicking out legal immigrants and letting illegals come in. Like
Yeah.
we should
Yes.
leave because we were born here. We don't deserve it. We should
Yeah,
let
yeah.
the people that make the journey and walk across, we should let them live here.
Just
We
take the
should tax
citizens
every
out.
citizen at 100% so that they can pay for the next 100 million people to move in.
Yeah, just give them our house. Just hand them the keys, and then we need to find somewhere else to go.
Yeah. If everyone, yeah, we should put in one immigrant per closet of each American household by force.
Don't give them any ideas, man.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say the same thing.
We don't need that. Joe Biden on the news tomorrow. We're going to forcefully put in one illegal immigrant into every house.
You know what? We should throw away the old Declaration of Independence, rewrite it in Spanish. You know, how about that? How about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Take out some amendments. You know, take out some some rights, and call it a day.
Take out all of them. You don't need any.
You know what? No, just say, hey, the government owns you personally.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna smile and take it. How about that one?
Declaration of Dependence.
Dependent. Yeah. Sign it. Joseph R. Kamala. Wait.
Joseph R. Kamala. Well, yeah.
Press that out.
Ukraine's our 51st state. We're sending tanks there to secure our state, you know. We're going to keep going until we win this war for America. We're not
Exactly.
going to stop, but complete joke. But on the other side of this break, we got some serious talk with this police brutality situation in Memphis. So we'll be right back.
The XM42 Flamethrower. Pick up your ultralight backpack for a longer burn time. Turn up the heat at your next bonfire. Get yours now on sale at warfieldarms.com.
So this police beating in Memphis, the 501 assault, it's causing major headlines, as it should, but there's now riots and protests about systemic racism. Kwan, help me understand this here.
So there is an idea in the left, and more commonly in the Black community, that even a Black person can be racist for the idea of white supremacy because they are the puppet of that institution. That certain people, certain Black people, do not have their own agency, but that instead that they are these tools used by the system to harm more Black people. This is kind of what they lob at Black conservatives, and it kind of came from the time of when, Uncle Tom, House Negroes, people, African Americans who were kind of on the white man's side as far as snitching, as far as helping them control the Black community. And unfortunately, it's carried on to this point where now, whenever a Black person does something harmful, instead of treating it as an individual case and actually looking at the facts and actually talking about what caused this issue, and what it's now become this point. No, we can't blame them. We have to blame the white community because the white community made him do it. This person didn't sell drugs. It was the white man. Oh, this person didn't murder those kids. It was the white man. Oh, this person didn't beat his wife. It was the white man. It's always the white man's fault for the Negro situation. And even if we're being harmed by each other, which we usually are, most Black death, I'm more likely to be killed by a Black person than I am a white person or anybody else. Even though that's the case, it's usually the white man's fault.
Yeah, this is interesting situation. I mean, you said that perfectly, but I want to talk about the situation and how it unfolded. So apparently he's resisting arrest. I don't know what the actual stop was for. But there was 5 officers.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take 5 men to detain one guy, so there was no need to kick anybody in their head.
Yeah.
There was definitely excessive force that did not need to happen.
Yeah.
But I got a question. How hard is it to do this? How hard is it to put your hands behind your back?
I mean,
and not resist?
If you're Lizzo, that's a little hard to kind of get back there.
I understand if you're Lizzo, you might not be able to reach your back. But things like this, yes, it should not happen. And it is exactly. if you just comply to start, things like this won't happen. But when you don't at the beginning, it leads to situations like they're in the wrong, and that's why they're being charged. But at the same time, if you just comply at the start, we don't get here.
Exactly. I think this kind of goes back to the idea of victim blaming. How we say, oh, women probably shouldn't walk outside alone by themselves down dark alleyways half drunk. That's probably not the safe thing to do. They say, oh, how dare you victim blame? And it's hard to understand nowadays how you taking appropriate measures to not put your life in other people's hands is called personal responsibility, and not just you should be able to. And so by all means, this man, even if he did resist arrest, by all means, the police officer should be able to properly detain him without causing too much injury, only using necessary force. But the moment where you put that in someone else's hands, you are now endangering your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what's going on with this man. Again, there are other situations mental illness or drugs, but what have you. But if you are in a situation where you have put yourself in a dangerous situation, that's partly on you for being there and causing that to happen. Despite it's not his fault that the cops were obviously doing the wrong thing. Obviously, there's no excuse for what they did.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we need to talk about how do we keep ourselves out of situations that may cause us harm.
Yeah.
And that's
for me, I'm probably gonna get canceled for this, but I can't help But to think that it's just another thing that was planned, I really think that the whole George Floyd thing was planned,
Mhm.
and I think that this was planned as well, just because there was five police officers there, five of them, and you're telling me no one had any type of like voice of reason, like man, like dude, stop, like don't, you know what I mean? Like no, not one of them. They all happened to be black, and it was just another way to start BLM up again at the perfect time. Like it's just
Mm.
a convenient time also, and I feel like it was more. I think that the reason why they were all black, though, if it was planned, was because they were trying to take it off of the whole racism thing at first and like just put it on like police instead, like police brutality. But
Yeah, and
uh,
this is what women don't think. Okay, moving on, Pally. I'm sorry. No, no. I don't think it was planned because only because of this. I've talked to my father, who is a police officer, and it's true fact that police officers can often get I don't say often, that sometimes police officers get a certain sense of pride. They get kind of angry at certain people who are disrespecting them, and they can kind of become ambivalent about other folks when they are in line of duty. And again, not all police officers. I'm not saying it's always true, but it can happen where a police officer is taking down somebody who's resisting arrest, whatever, and they feel so angry and so entitled by the situation that they, you know what, I hope you suffer, and then from that it can get very out of hand. So I do believe this. So I believe personally that this is very genuine. Where there's these five guys probably knew each other. They
mhm.
probably really angry at this guy for resisting arrest, and they feel entitled by their position to like basically like beat him up. Say, hey,
Like
how dare you struggle with us? How do you fight us? How dare you make us chase you? We are gonna make you really uncomfortable and hurt you.
it's like a power struggle type of
Yeah,
thing.
a power trip. Yeah, I think there
Okay.
are police officers who absolutely power trip, and the thing about it is when you are with people in your little group, that can amplify over time.
Hmm.
All it takes is one person to be a bad person to give everybody else the excuse to also do it. If your
Yeah.
main leader of the group, or your main friend is doing something, and you see them doing it, it's like, okay, he's doing it, I'll do it, and then someone else goes, oh, if they're two doing it, that's do it too. And so it's very easy for one bad person to do one bad thing, and then for that to grow.
Hmm.
I do think that the left wasted no time making it a opportunity to push certain agendas as they do. I think they are not people to want to waste a good tragedy. They don't let any death go to waste, so to speak. But yeah, I do think these gentlemen were acting at their own malicious intent. I think they were having their own little power trip, thinking like, okay, how dare this person resist us, the police, the authority? Let's teach him a lesson. And in the heat of the moment, they went too far.
Yeah.
Personally, what I think.
I can't speak on their position because I'm not 100% sure on it. But normally, when you see a bunch of, casually dressed officers in their unmarked cars, normally these are gang units or drug
Mhm.
units. So they're more of the tough guy officers anyway. They're
Yeah,
more hands on. So I mean, it doesn't make anything right. I'm not saying that. I'm just
yeah,
saying
exactly.
these officers are more physical by nature by their job. So it doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me that they would act like this. Like obviously they took it too far, but I'm saying based off their job description, if that is what they are, then you can expect a more physical approach to a situation anyway.
yeah. And again, like if you tried to resist arrest and you like assault an officer, obviously you are gonna get beat up. Okay, like if you are physically trying to hurt somebody, they have the full right to detain you and like hurt you back and to a reasonable degree. The problem again, like you said, it was 5-on-1. It was unnecessary for them to go that far.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he was resisting arrest, they had a person for each limb and head, so they were just fine. Like you said, again, police officers often some of them work in some of the most dangerous neighborhoods you could imagine, and some of them are very very tense and like very jumpy and very aggressive, as you said. But again, they are in a particular position where that's not good enough. Um, I get it that this is a very high stress job, but this is a job that you have. I get that pilots have a very high stress job. Doesn't mean that my pilot should be able to just go up there drinking and go doing loop de loops whenever I'm flying American Airlines. Just because you have a hard job doesn't mean that you have the excuse to misbehave. And I think that's kind of what we missed. I think as a conservative movement whenever we were going against BLM back when they were talking about kill all cops. I think we had the right sentiment once we're saying like blue lives matter. That's totally true. I think that we need to recognize that police are there to protect the law, not us. The Supreme Court recognized that that police have no duty to protect us at all. That is not their job. Their job is to protect the law. If the law is broken, then it's their job to do that, not to protect you. And I think if we over rely on them to do so, then we will oftentimes be more in these positions of putting our lives in other people's hands instead of our own.
Yeah. You know what the saying is, nobody hates a bad cop more than a good cop. So
Exactly.
you know, these five guys, they're going to be charged 15 to 60 years, second-degree murder, and then other charges as well. So they did wrong. They're going to serve the time. It was relatively quick. It was 21 days since the occurrence. So there doesn't need to be these riots. The action has already been taken for you know what happened, but I don't know if I think it's staged, but I know these riots are staged and these protests are staged because there should be no outrage over. Like, you can be upset by what happened, but these people are going to get locked up. Justice will be served. Like, that's what you want in our country. That's what happens here. We don't just burn down cities every time something happens.
Yeah, and also like, who's it hurting? Like, it's like, oh, the cops did this, so I'm gonna burn down my neighbor's house. What are you doing? That didn't help anybody.
I don't understand any of that, to be honest. I don't understand the whole defund the police and everything else because just like there's good and bad people, there's good and bad cops. So why would you defund the police? The whole like good and bad cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they people are like, oh, like the police, like the people are like, oh, well, we don't have any bad firefighters, which is actually untrue. Firefighters actually make up the most arsonists out of anybody. If it's arson, it's probably a firefighter.
Yeah.
Fun fact. You need to know that.
Facts.
Fun facts for everybody to know. Cops are not the only public servants who do wrong sometimes.
It is bad in every profession.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was listening to I had Fox on this morning, and Stephen A. Smith, ESPN guy, he's known for having his race baiting clips, but he's like, I'd never claimed to say I wanted to defund the police. I actually want to fund it more, which is, I'll give him respect. I respect that. Like, he didn't have to say that. Like, yeah, he was like, I think the police should, have better equipment and better training, which we can agree that more training wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? It's not saying that all officers need better training. It's not saying some departments even need better training, but more money for training is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, more money in general is not a bad thing. So
I don't think any cop would be opposed to better training anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's something we can all agree on.
Yeah, and like, again, I'm totally all for keeping cops accountable. That's totally fine with me. I think it's necessary when we have, because again, the biggest threat to our democracy is not only ourselves but our government, and the police work for the government. At the end of the day, the government signs their checks. At the very end of the day, and so by all means, we should love the people who help our community who are cops. Clearly, they have a very tough and hard job. But also, we should be very weary of them as well. Same kind of breath.
I'm weary about everybody nowadays.
Yeah, it's gotta be. There were some cops who were enforcing the COVID lockdowns to a harsh degree, which I didn't agree with. There were cops who resisted the pushes to get rid of the Second Amendment, which I agree with. So it's like, it's a mixed bag. You got to pick and choose, which things you want to stand for.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a tricky situation. It's going to be interesting to see then the nights coming up. What's going to happen, if there's going to be more riots, if it's going to die down. Probably won't for a little bit because they got to get good use out of this, like they always do.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's quiet, though. I mean, like I said, there's no need to do anything. These guys are going to be charged and put where they belong. So,
yeah, I think the idea is that, like, oh, how dare they charge these black police officers so fast, but they wait to charge white ones. Again, I feel is a totally weird comparison because it's untrue. There was big outrage whenever a white cop kills a black person, ever, and usually it's in much more obscure circumstances. This one was pretty cut and dry. Usually it's more obscure kind of situations.
Yeah. Well, Like I said, let's just hope it dies down and this gets out of the news cycle here relatively soon, because that'd be better for our country. We don't need our cities burning anymore.
I agree.
Well, I don't have anything else this week. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about, or anything else I miss?
I think I'm good.
Kwan, you got any interesting stories you want to tell?
So there I was frying chicken. I'm joking. No,
True story.
Just true story. Fun fact. I do indeed fry chicken. That's a certified fact.
He does.
I do.
In front of us.
In front of them, yeah, I do.
And doesn't share.
Has strangers walk in on him.
Exactly. I make them watch me cook chicken.
hmm
Just a hobby I do.
That's the type of guy he is. He makes chicken in front of us and does not share.
Exactly.
He does teach us how to make it, though.
I do for themselves.
Another fun fact.
Because I could give a man a fish, right, and then he would eat for a day. You know what I mean? Or I can teach a man how to fish, and they'll eat fried chicken for a lifetime.
Wait, if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat fried chicken for a lifetime.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's a good ending point this week. So, with that being said, we'll see you all next week.
Bye, all.
Awesome. Bye, guys.